Hey guys, it's Will. Welcome to the channel. I'm a part-time day trader trying to become a full-time. It is the 4th week of April, and surprisingly, April does have 5 weeks, but it is not a long week. Next week is only have like 3 trading days. This last week, I only did take one trade on Monday. Today is Thursday. We did not take any trades, and Friday is tomorrow, but we will see if we take any trades tomorrow. I'm gonna take out the filter and put dollar amount, and we are up $37. I'm happy for that. Trade win percentage is 100%. Day one percentage is 100%. It's because I only took one trade, so it isn't anything too crazy, and it was a win, so that's why it is 100%. If I go to my trade, I am up $46. My net ROI for this trade is 46.89, and it was a short position on the QQQ. If I click here, I am going to show you guys the entries and exits are right here. It was only about 10 minutes. Entered it in at 9.50 and exited at 9.59. Yeah, I was only maximum loss was $3, so I risked a very small amount, but I was just down. My entry was just really good, so I was barely down and I was up. My realized was $38, but after commissions it was $36. Maximum was $49, so that is pretty good. Here's my 4 charts that I always look at. I look at the QQQ, I look at the SPY. For the futures, I look at the NASDAQ, which mimics the QQQ. I look at ES, which mimics the S&P 500, which is the SPY. And I always look at the 4 markets and make sure that they always align, and then I take a position once I see fit, once I see that they're all aligning. And sometimes it doesn't all align, and sometimes one market or 2 markets are stronger than the other, and then I play off from that. The green arrow is my entry and my red arrow is my exit. For the other markets, I do have my green arrows just to show where I entered from the other market, but I did enter from the QQQ. That's why I have it over here as my red arrow, which is my exit. And it was a pretty good risk reward. It was probably like about a 4 to 5 risk reward. This was a short position, so I did wait for the breakdown, wait for the retest of this level, and then I played my short position off of there. My target was gonna be this demand zone right here, but I did not take it there. It's hard to scale out when you have one contract because you can't even scale out at all. You either just exit or you either hold out longer. And I did want to lock in profits. It's just really hard when you don't have anything to scale off of. It was still a really good trade, so I just had to log it in, and sometimes that's the best thing to do. You want to walk away and not really just think about the trade, because this can really affect you just watching it all day. And who knows, it could take 2 hours. Maybe the target hits at 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. and I'm not going to be there the whole day, right? I do have this trade live and I'm going to play it now, and then I'll break down the trade. Right now we are looking at the NASDAQ. This is going to be the 30 minutes. I'm going to show you guys where I got my entry and show you guys where I got my levels at. The level of the previous week, which was the Wednesday, I believe, was the low of this candle right here. That was 18,116. We see in pre-market on the Monday where I took my trade was that the pre-market was respecting this level as well, which was 18,116 as well. So I charged them off my level there. That is a double bottom low. That is a pretty strong low. If that level does break, then I can play a retest short off the level because I know that this week and my risk on that level. And then once it breaks down, I can play a retest short once it starts rejecting and take it down to the next demand zone, which was the 17,900. I could also play longs as well, but we are still in a downtrend and I'm not really interested in taking a upside unless it breaks down this trend right here. And then that probably has to be a break of these levels right here. Going to the 2 minute now on the Qs, it's the same thing as the NASDAQ. These are my levels here. Is a 437.75. Once it did start breaking that level, which was the same as the NASDAQ, and then once it started retesting the level right here, you can start seeing it retest, and that's when I decided to take a short position there, and I did get out around this area right here. When the market did open, it opened above the level that I wanted to short. So right now I'm not gonna do anything. I'll just waiting, and then it starts breaking out this level, but I don't chase it there. It starts wicking, right? There's a lot of volume in the early morning. It starts wicking like crazy. I'm still not really interested in taking it because it's playing a lot of games. I want to see a really proper breakdown and then start retesting the level, and then I can play it short off that level. It does actually start breaking out more, but I didn't want to chase it, even though it would have been nice to. Like, a lot of people are probably chasing it, that's why it's probably going lower. But I know that it has to retest the level for me to take a trade. I can't just like chase it, because if I did take that trade over here, then Later, it went back up. Probably would have get scared right there, and then this got out. Maybe I would have entered it again later, but my risk reward is like not as good anymore. If you saw from the live trade, the volume was going crazy. It did go back up here pretty aggressively. Then I was thinking maybe this is not even a short anymore. Maybe this could be a long. I know that it does that a lot. It goes back up. It scares a lot of people because the people are getting scared once it starts going back up. A lot of shorts are getting out of their position, and then when they get scared, it starts rejecting again. And I know that this is probably the best reward, so that's why I did take the trade off right there. And every time when there's a downtrend or there's an uptrend, it always has a stair step to the downtrend or to the uptrend. When it breaks down, it goes back up, it goes back down, it goes back up, it goes back down. That's how a downtrend is. It doesn't just go straight down. It just doesn't go vertically down like that. It's like a sideways down, right? And this is the downtrend like that. Going back to all the charts on the 2 minutes, we see the exact same thing in every single market. It breaks down the markets and then it starts to retest the level in every single market. That's why it was an A+ setup, and I took my short position up there. I was thinking first maybe I should play off the SPY, is because it does have more room for it to go, so it can go back up and then maybe fake me out. I was thinking if I did get the Qs, the market could probably slide up a little higher, and then maybe I could have got out because the SPY and the ES still had a bit more room for it to touch the rejection spot. That's why I was thinking of playing the SPY, but my risk reward will not be as great. I'll be risking a little bit more if I did play off the SPY. But once I started seeing that wick again on the Qs, then I was like, I just had to take the trade, and it was a really good trade. That was the Monday trade. I am gonna look real quick on what is happening today. This is the Nasdaq remit chart. We're kind of in the middle of a zone right now. There's nothing too crazy. That's why I did not take any trades. There's like a big supply zone right here that I have, and is currently rejecting right now. I do have the small zone right here on the Nasdaq, but I did not really take a trade off there. But it did do a break of that level. I could play the retest for a long, and the market did go up, but I did not take the trade because the SPY and ES was like pretty choppy. It did not really give me a proper entry, so I do not take a trade when it just goes up like that. And we are in this zone right here, and I was looking for it to break one of the zones, and if it did break down the zone, I would play a retest short of that level, but did not see that, so I did not take any trades. It's still early, still 11:30, but I don't believe I'll take a trade. Going to the 2 minutes on the markets, like I said, it did break above this level on all the markets, but we don't really see a proper retest. It doesn't really go back down. It's kind of like just goes straight up, and it does bounce back here, but that's pretty far. That's a really far risk. It starts holding the ES right here, but you know, that's not my trade. That's not a really strong retest. I want a really strong break, starts to retest the level, and then I have a good risk reward. That is my week so far. I am up $36, and we'll see if I take a trade tomorrow. And what I like to say is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Keep staying consistent, keep staying disciplined, and let's just get 1% better every day. And I'll see you in the next one.